a lot of the training when you see another dog is actually dealing with what I call the symptom, the reactivity, the aggression. Why though? The question is, why is your dog being reactive? And when we get to that, that's the cause of the problem. So the way to stop reactivity is to understand what's causing it. And what's causing it is Hi there, Doggy Dan here with another edition of Pup Dates, and today we're looking at how do we stop dogs' reactivity. And what I want to touch in here is what I call the symptom and the cause of the problem. And with 99% of training, when people are dealing with reactivity, they're dealing with the symptom. They're not dealing with the actual cause of the problem. So much like, if you keep getting a rash or something and you just keep putting a plaster over the top of the rash, it kind of protects, it protects your skin a little bit, but it's not really getting to why is the rash there in the first place? That's what you really want to figure out. And so with dogs' reactivity, a lot of the training when you see another dog is actually dealing with what I call the symptom, the reactivity, the aggression. Why though? The question is, why is your dog being reactive? And when we get to that, that's the cause of the problem. So the way to stop reactivity is to understand what's causing it. And what's causing it is you have to really think like a dog. I'm a big fan of thinking like a dog. And if you look at the dogs, basically they're simple animals. They're interested not in dreams, holidays, careers, bigger TV. They're interested in survival. They're interested in protecting the pack. And that's what happens when the dogs start to think that they're in charge. They start being protective. And so if you can communicate with your dog and say to your dog, hey, you're not in charge. You don't need to protect me. You don't need to protect the property. You don't need to protect the other dogs in the pack. You have a different dog. You literally walk down the street and your dog is simply not reacting. They're in a different state. If I feel like I have to protect, imagine I have 5 little chickens, like little chicks, baby chicks, or a couple of little cats with me, and I'm walking into a dog pack, I'd be pretty reactive. I'd be, pushing all the other dogs away, saying, stay back. Why? Because I've got to protect those chickens, those little baby chicks. I've got to protect these little cats who are going to get attacked by the dogs probably. So I'm far more reactive than if I'm just, say, on my own. Or if I'm walking down with maybe my wife, who's very good with working with dogs. Or I might have a couple of dogs with me. I wouldn't be so reactive. So when your dogs think that they have to protect you and protect themselves from these dogs, that is where the reactivity comes from. Now, how do you stop the dogs thinking that they have to protect you? Well, that's where it comes down to leadership. Understanding that leadership's not a bad thing. That when you take the lead in a loving way, you sort of say, hey, trust me, I'll look after you, I'll protect you, I'll make the decisions here. And when you know how to do that with a dog, when you know how to think like a dog and communicate with a dog, I'm in charge, buddy. Don't worry about it. I got this covered. Then your dog can switch off and relax. That's how you stop dog reactivity. And that all happens inside the home. It doesn't happen whilst you're on the street. That's not how you win your dog's mind. It happens at home before you leave the house. So if you want to know more, if you want to understand dog leadership, how to stop reactivity, click on the link below to find out more. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, off you.